Juvenile delinquency is one of the most complicated aspects nowadays society have, for three simple reasons. First of all, they are not well developed people, their brains are not well developed, so it's basically people that is very programmable. So first of all, if it's people that is very programmable, what is gonna happen is that exact people is the one that is gonna lead society in a future. So it's very important for us to drastically impact and help those criminal records, those criminal minds in that younger age, because once their brain are constructed and well structured, if they stay with that same belief of delinquency, they are gonna be criminals the rest of their life. So yeah, it's very shameful that nowadays society have criminals, but it's also very optimistical, because it's very easy also to help them to get into society back, to reprogram their minds for the good, and to help them become better. We basically wanted to focus in Medellin at first, but we understood that the main problem here in Colombia is not just Medellin, but in the most affected and vulnerable zones directly of the country, because of the grupos armados, as la guerrilla, as los paramilitares, people that rapture and capture children from their families, brainwash them, and make them criminals. It's very programmed on a mind in those younger days, but what we better do is help them directly to overcome that things. We don't want to fight between the unknown. We don't want to fight with the grupos armados. That's another fight that the government needs to issue. Our main focus is the guys, the people, and the younger boys that are able to go out of their grupos armados, go out of the drugs, go out of the streets, get into our sons, and get psychological, spiritual, and completely body treatment, so they can have equanimity, which is basically the balance between their brains, soul, and body. If they are not balanced between their brain, soul, and body, they are gonna go back to the streets and gonna continue making criminal records. As you can see in this graph, you can see that in the United States, the people that is captured between and before 17 years old, after the years, the percentage of recidivism increases year after year after year. And that's something very, very sad, especially because they are a first world country. Here in the third world country, that percentage increases way more, because they try to get back into the normal society. But once they got that feeling again of going to the streets, of drugs, of the paramilitarism, of the guerrilla, they go back directly to their old patterns in their brain and continue doing the same that they just know. So our main focus directly is to open their perspective and show them that there is more out of life than being a criminal.
Our main strategy to impact the problem is to find the root of the problem, to identify at what point we can impact the lives of young people, to prevent them from making the wrong decisions, so as not to be present at the time of punishment only, but to prevent such behaviors and the formation of these new habits. How does it relate to global issues? What are those SDGs that are primarily connected to our project? Juvenile delinquency is directly related to globalization, as it no longer affects only the country but also the relationship it has with the rest of the world. There are a lot of issues that it brings with it, such as tourism, foreign investment, and even the reputation in this country.
And also, what are the objectives that we want to achieve with this project? We must be realistic in the setting of our goals, so we want to go from less to more. We are looking for a reduction in the rate of violence, theft, and social differences that we find in our city in order to generate a healthier coexistence. We would like to start with the promotion of education and generate programs that promote the beginning of a good citizen and gives a good result and remuneration. To be a correct adult, you must first be an applied young person, not only in the student or in environment, but we also socially. We want to create a school for education, disruptive to what we know in schools. We are young people that we can find a healthier way for the young people that are in the streets, so we can be like someone that wants to help them go to school and all of that stuff, like a vocation without the need to have a high school degree and to find a sustainable job in the legal framework for many people who do not want or have the opportunity to study in a college or a university. Well, another thing is, what is the impact that we would like to make? We would like to leave a positive footprint in the current and future generations from the perspective of those who wanted to do things in a different way, more open. We want young people to be responsible for their decisions, but all under the conscience and no ignorance. We find as the biggest detractor the ignorance of the people, not only the young people, and we seek to educate a generation that after a few years will educate future young people, where access to violence and war of death is a bad decision punished and frowned upon, and not the fruits of necessity and the reflection of society.